Welcome to SEC Tournament Reaction with Chris Muller. Before we get into that real quick, Ole Miss a victor over Vanderbilt 4-1, but I want to tell you about the Vault Society. That's the big push for the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. What is the Vault Society? It's a 5-year commitment of support. Membership starts at $5,000 a year, and there's a benefit chart on the site. We're going to give you the address in just a second. All gifts to Ole Miss between now and June 30th will receive triple points. Red points are non-deductible and go towards priority seating. Blue points are 90% tax deductible and go towards parking and non-home ticketed games. That's postseason bowl games, neutral site like Hoover. We got a pretty big one coming up on Labor Day that fits that bill. Anyway, if you're interested in the Vault Society, go to give2athletics.com. Again, that is give2athletics.com. Chris, Tyler Myers threw a gem, an absolute gem, and somehow we took it basically over the season, a 5-game series from Vanderbilt where we defeated Rocker and Leiter. Nobody would have predicted that for the season.
Yeah. Uh, Obviously, Tyler Myers is the story of the game today. Who would have thunk that the young man was going to go 7 innings after his longest outing of the year, like I talked about this morning, was 3 innings. Just really, really impressed. Don't know exactly where that came from, but if we can see outings like this from McDaniel and Myers moving forward to the rest of the year, we're really, really in a good position right now.
Yeah, Tyler Myers gave you 7+ innings. He hit a career high in strikeouts. He let them hit the ball. He let the ball go into play, and good things tend to happen. And it's my theory that I talked to you about in the preview show that in this age of analytics and high velocity, the old school baseball players have a little bit of an advantage because they're becoming the rarity.
Exactly, and I think that Tyler pitching to contact was really key today. Not so many ground balls, which was really interesting for a pitch to contact guy, but he really kept it around the zone, and the innings seemed to go by really quick for both him and Braden Johnson. Braden had a really good outing as well, a 6-out save, so good for Brandon. So really happy with the pitching staff, and there wasn't a lot out of the bullpen except for Brandon, so really sets us up well for tomorrow.
Yeah, and I am actually curious what they're going to do tomorrow, but we'll get to that in a minute. Brandon Johnson, a 2-inning save. Basically, that 96 and 97 that he was hitting on a gun was that much more special because of the 90 that Tyler Myers was trotting out there, and Vanderbilt really didn't have much of a chance once the change was made.
Yeah, that change in velocity when you go from that 6 or 7, 8 mile an hour difference really catches hitters off guards, and it can go the other way as well. If a guy's throwing 96 and then you bring in the guy throwing 88, it's the same thing that hitters just really have to have time to adjust to that. That's why I think you see a lot of the relievers are 9 batter guys, and then you turn the next guy over because you don't want the hitters to really get a read on the guy, and so you trot somebody else out, either a different handed pitcher or somebody that has a little bit different stuff.
Yeah. And it's all about changing the rhythm up. But let's talk about the lineup. Jack Leiter was on the hill for Vanderbilt, so we knew that hits would be at a premium. But players like T.J. McCants and Kevin Graham really came through today and propelled us once we got that lead. Honestly, Tyler Myers just locked it down.
Yeah, and the second inning was really key for me. Obviously, we got the 2 runs, but if you look at how we got those 2 runs, Leiter hit the first guy, I believe, in that inning, and then he walked Elko, and those 2 runs came back to haunt him. And then in the 7th inning, came back to haunt him as well. So he had T.J. McCants had a really good solid RBI, which I was really happy to see TJ's bat come alive in the tournament. The at-bat that I'm going to single out for the game, though, was Peyton Chatagnier in the 2nd inning. If you recall, that was when the bases were loaded. Elko, I think, was on third, and Peyton had an 8-pitch at-bat, which when you're talking about Leiter, somebody that is really around the strike zone, we talked earlier in the show about that 1.28 batting average against. Really important for us to be able to have a lot of discipline, and it looked like we had a lot of eye discipline, bat discipline at the plate. And so that Chatagnier bat to me was really important for our overall success today.
Yeah, it looked like today. Now, me watching the game, they were not just hunting the fastball, but they were hunting particular fastballs and were willing to go deep in the count to try to make it work. Because at the worst thing that happens, you're striking out with a full count.
Yeah, and again, that eye discipline that they've had, we're really just so tough, so resilient, and we've proven that pretty much every game. We talked a little bit about that this morning, I think, but really fun to watch and just an energetic team. And so I think we can all get behind the team now. Hopefully, all the people that were down on the team earlier are on the bus, so to speak. I've been on the bus the whole season, so I hope. Hopefully everybody's on the bus now and everybody's really excited for what's to come. Obviously, we've got Arkansas tomorrow. Really excited about that opportunity for us. It's a single elimination tournament from this point forward. So really we have nothing to lose, everything to gain. And I do think we have some ground to make up. I've not really looked and seen what everybody else has done ahead of us in the pecking order, so to speak. But we all know that State went 0-2 in the tournament, and so there's room to be gained there, because our record so far in the SEC tournament, I believe we're 3-1. So we're really making up a lot of ground on Mississippi State. It'll be interesting to see how the cards are dealt out on Monday.
Yeah, my big concern that I've been pretty clear about is I don't think that they would want to give a national seed, go from Mississippi State to Ole Miss. I think Stanford is ahead of us in the pecking order, and you just don't see a scenario where they fall apart before the selection Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I just don't know how the selection committee thinks about the conference tournaments. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I know we have been able to make some hay with conference tournaments in the past. If you remember back to 2019, we were really on that tournament bubble of whether or not we were going to host or not. And we had that run in the SEC tournament, which I think put us over the top for that hosting spot. So I'm really hopeful that this run in the SEC tournament is able to put us over the top for that national seed.
Yes, and also we just witnessed in the SEC tournament a much tougher version of going through the losers bracket in a regional. We just had a dress rehearsal of that went through Vandy twice. It was like being a 3 seed in the regional, and we got out of it. So have confidence. Enjoy this regional, but definitely have confidence moving forward that there's not some set scenario that you need to happen to advance. If something else happens, you're in trouble.
No doubt, and I think Coach Bianco talked a little bit about that post game. That this would be game 4 of or game 7 for us of a regional setup. So this would be we get pushed to a Monday night affair, much like we did in 2018. So Tyler Myers might be that guy that's that 4th starter if we need him to be on a Monday night.
Yeah, and that's quite excellent. And like I said, that can only increase the confidence moving forward of the players, and it's really good to see. Now, just a little bit, I want to go into tomorrow's game. We don't really know the pitchers at this point. We're going to get together and do a true preview in the morning. But what are you looking forward to from that game, and what do you want to see?
What I'm looking forward to is just the loose attitude that we've seemed to have had throughout this whole tournament. We're not playing with any baggage, it doesn't seem like, in our minds. The players from the shots in the dugout have seemed really, really loose. And so I'm really happy with that. And I just want to see that continue.
Okay, it's gonna be a big game. And if we beat Arkansas tomorrow, just to let you know, we are 500 with Arkansas. We won a 5-game series with Vanderbilt. We can play with anyone. We just had a couple of hiccups along the way against LSU and A&M.
Absolutely. And I think if we beat Arkansas tomorrow, if we do not enter into that national seed discussion, I would be very surprised and I would be very disappointed.
Yeah, but if some reason that happens that we don't get to go into that, remember in Lafayette in 2014, we advanced on the road. So it's not a death sentence if that happens.
It is not. And, those road series where we go on the road, I got the opportunity to go down to Lafayette. That's just, it's it's not quite as good as Swayze is, but it's really rewarding to go on the road and take somebody down there in their house and head to Omaha.
Yeah, sure enough. Chris Muller giving the breakdown of the game today. Ole Miss 4-1 winners over the Vanderbilt Commodores. Vandy is eliminated. Arkansas is on deck tomorrow. We'll have a preview show in the morning and a reaction show after the game because that's what we do. And let's see what else is coming on. Chris Clark is coming Monday morning for a South Carolina preview. So we got a lot of stuff coming up and coming down the vine. I think that's a phrase. But anyway, tune in for that. For Chris Muller, I'm Stephen Willis, and of course, Hotty Toddy.
Hotty Toddy.